win. So we'll see. I think it's important to be able to mentally reset and keep fighting here on Anubis.
Well, let's find out if Heroic can. They're going to start things off over on the T side, and immediately they are running everyone over here towards A. G2 have stacked B, so if they stick to their guns on a little A side walk, this could be a nice spot for Heroic.
Prove the haters wrong, Nexa.
Yeah, it's big.
Right here.
It's big they don't use the flash as well, because now Heroic don't even hear the flash on the other side of the map. They don't know that G2 have taken this space, and although it's only Nexa alone in this smoke, he's got the Julies. They're pretty good.
Here we are, Nexa.
Oh no.
None and done, as that's the end of the line for him.
Oh, I like
nice
that.
Flash play through camera, but Hooksy actually blinded himself in the process.
Sick.
So this one's not gotten off to a rip-roaring start for the G2 squad. 3v5, and the backstab looking to get dealt with. Nico suddenly emerges, and m0NESY dropped out. It's got to be all Nico here to open up the pistol for G2. Dropping down into the site, he taps the bomb, hoping this baits a peak. He was relatively quiet back on overpass, but trying to start this one strong. The 3 kills is the end of the line, as it will be Heroic pulling up with a pistol round in their back pocket.
Nice shots for Nico, but I will say Nikodos is a very strong P250 player on these pistol rounds as well. It's uncomfortable for Nexy. You think even 1 kill would be enough. And I love that idea for Hooksy, right-clicking the flash in the smoke, but then he runs backwards looking into it. Fumbled the execution, and Heroic come through with a pistol round.
Unfortunate for Nexa, you know, great timing to put down the smoke, playing behind with the duelist, just can't connect on the kills. If he got at least 1 or maybe bought a little bit more time, the flank was coming in from G2, but not meant to be.
And we have this flash play with the USPs. Gonna look to try and deal with Shush. G2 just waiting for the kind of mental timer to kick in on this one as they hear that util coming out. Heroic are looking to take some space over in main, so it's not a bad idea. They're going to be in the right place with it. Hooksy's flash in the last round might have let him down, but let's hope this one tees up the rest of these USPs. Ooh. Smoke now fades. Flash goes in. Here comes the peak, and it is an absolute massacre. Everybody falls for G2, and the vanilla pistols don't get anything done. And that's par for the course.
If they threw it on the fade,
maybe, right?
A couple of kills at least. But good clean anti-eco from Heroic. Nerds has given the MP7 bug to Shush as well. Kicks and Mag 10, so let's see if they go maybe for an A rush, some fast B, execute M4s on the side of G2 all around. Nexa with no utility.
As A anchor as well, he will definitely need support. Ooh, Nikodos fearless through the smoke, and with a break as well, he gets a lot of info. It almost seems too good to be true, but it's not. No one is here. He won't commit. It's very early in the round, but supporting smoke down on Temple, Nikodos is getting set up for success right now.
And as they're hearing all this noise, right, with the 3-strong lean over towards A, they're going to be tempted to have to take some real estate back, right? They have a lot of resources dedicated over here towards this A site, and so they flash themselves into main. They at least get a bit of a foothold here. That mid area still conceded. At least m0NESY gathers the info.
Molly is so huge to block the camera play. They're about to commit and just go into A right there, but it's going to be G2 blocking. And as Yanko points out, not much utility left for Heroic as they try and bail back to B. As I say this, G2 is second-guessing themselves. They've lost mid-info, and so while rotating Beach, they're also pulling out of the B-bomb site. This is perfect timing for Heroic.
The thing that's scary here, right, is because you lost mid for a good while there and you didn't have any eyes on it, they could even be in CT, so there's a lot that G2 are having to worry about here. Hooksy and Hunter both rise to the occasion, though, with a killer piece on this B hold. And things are looking good for G2. On plant will come in. Another kill from Hunter through the smoke. So this one looking nice and clean thus far. They've got Tesses and Nikodos left to get through. They learn about Tesses over in the connector. Nikodos is still a big question mark, but he is all that stands between G2 and this round. They'll deal with him cleanly. And so G2 pull up with the rifles, and they get their first on the board right away.
I think also that first kill from Hunter really describes well who he is, right? Like when I talked on Overpass about going for some aggressive peeks. And like, this is it. Just there's 3 players there really waiting, but he just goes for it before the smoke pops, gets that 1 kill. He'll find 1 more through the smoke. So great job from G2 to just sort of hold play defensive, wait for the smokes to clear before they go for the retake with the numbers advantage.
It's such a high-risk peak, but given the fact that they have no one in the site, getting out with a 5-on-4 is perfect for G2.
And they played for the sites in the previous round, so now let's see if they put a little bit more focus on middle.
Will be Nico starting there. Deep nades, smoke to block, but very supportive. We're seeing this little wolf pack on the A side in most of these rounds for G2. 3 players focused as Nico lines up a Molotov. Might be burning out the rugs as they go for a push together. Oh, he's just dropping it below in the little right-hand corner. It's going to force a repause. Flash is good, but Nikodos comes in with the saving double. Massive entries. They know a third man's here. There was Util coming through, and m0NESY waits back in heaven.
1 kill for m0NESY. Accidental jump, but he controls it. Tony Hawk in the building, man. Little kick flip there as he brings it back into a 3-on-3. The backstab is in from Tesses as mid is left unchecked, and now Heroic can slow it down. m0NESY hungry for even more. He's left up in this clutch. 3 kills to his name in a 1v2. This is going to be the ace clutch from m0NESY if he wants to keep this round safely in the G2 bank.
Wouldn't be his first on Anubis.
Smoke out over towards Temple. Heroic move in, the site conceded. m0NESY gonna try and play through this. He teed this up for himself, gave himself options if he had to retake this B site, but Nikodos just a little smart, a little faster on that one, comes up behind him and will flush m0NESY out, knowing what he had planned to do with that smoke.
Great game out of Nikodos right now. That double entry, he saves his teammate to a mollied and blind out A main with this double kill, and it goes on to shut down a red-hot m0NESY. 3 kills into an ace. The recovery there, to jump, to go full Yabby, to still land on your feet is admirable for m0NESY, but it's still Heroic leading the board. 3-1 T-side Anubis. It's par for the course, but it's also G2's map pick. So you don't want them to go too deep down under. Well, they haven't been since Sydney. Just pistols now, couple of deegs to give you a fighting chance, but Nikodos has already walked all the way through A. Might just be the round. Might.
Yeah, should very much so be, right? They only have these 2 players trapped down over towards Dark, and Nico's knowing about in middle, so Heroic have got this one teed up. Kicksan just getting some target practice at range there. And Nico's just going to slink his way out of middle. Heroic kind of looking for this. It's only the Deagle they'd be looking to remove, and they'll do exactly that. Kicksan lights up the eco from G2.
Orb going to get dropped over from Nico. Setting up the star here.
Oh, and you see Taz getting involved here. G2 calling in a timeout.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, that last gun round, it was just they called the play to be aggressive outside of A. Probably weren't hoping for 3 guys to be there, and Nikodos coming in a little bit late, shutting it down. So not too much to talk about. Perhaps maybe just calling for a more passive style, sort of wait for Heroic to do something right, and then maybe play a little bit more reactive instead of being proactive all the time.
We'll get the James smoke for Kicksan. That's going to land inside of Dark, but spread just enough that you can't peek, or you can't hide rather. You have to peek or go back to B. It takes a while to bloom though. Hunter sees it. And wow, okay, it's off a little bit. He's got a nice gap there.
So this was some early B utility from Heroic, probably wanting to bait out the counter utility from the CTs in case it was a B pop. So they might go back to it or just end the round on A.
Well, m0NESY is here with this Ooh, missed shot, uncharacteristically so, misses again, and then burns alive in the molly on the site. Shush, double opener secured, and on the back of that, the round might just be unraveled for G2. This save call should look to come in.
This just in. m0NESY is human.
That's one of the first misses all series, and it is consequential here for G2. It just loses them the round with Nexa falling with only one. m0NESY needed to hold the line. Nerds is hunting. He knows exactly where they're going, and he will deal with them well. Oh, the re-swing back in as well, but Hunter denies it. And that will be allowed. 2 guns at least for G2, but not enough to rebuy a round fully. So Nerds' job is done. And nice utility behind the bomb site as well, getting mollied out.
And no BS call there from Heroic, right?
Yeah.
What I was talking about, let G2 think about all the possibilities. We're just going to keep it simple, right? Group towards A, go for the execute. Great utility, great execute. One missed shot, and yeah, that's the problem with, like, in executes in general. That one shot and the round is pretty much over because the players gain so much ground, like with scaling. He can hit the second shot, he's going to be traded immediately.
He might have gotten another shot off, but they naded the molly anyway. So like that smoke could have saved him, but the nade lands, and yeah, he's ticking in the molly anyway. So it's a done deal. And Heroic, they're just keeping it simple. They're going for another peek out B main, looking for a kill. Nerds with a lurk smoke. It's actually the CT smoke used against them, and he's in the middle of the site. They have no idea right now. He's just waiting for a kill to present itself. Testers will take it. There's 2 Ts here, and shots rallying down range here for Heroic. A little awkward on the fade, but recovered well. And m0NESY, mortal man right now as Heroic get rid of this eco.
Yeah, Nico's still back here in spawn holding the cross, but unless he gets like one hell of a multi-kill here, this is not a round destined for G2. On that swing out through the cave, Nexa just a footstep too far, leaves him in the prying eyes of this Nikodos AWP, and he'll even land that tag down range onto Nico, ending Nico's round here and now.
Yeah, he looked frustrated. What can you do? Nothing now. Dead man walking, and Heroic will make it so. 6-1.
Yeah, this is scary, right? When Nikodos having great form, going to try and measure up to what we saw from m0NESY in that last game. Then you've had Tesses and Nerds, I feel like, playing very in-your-face Counter-Strike whenever it's been demanded. These were the 2 that crept through this smoke out B main in this round.
It's a really good T side. I mean, just also in terms of calling, nice changes of pace. The executes are good, and another sort of early group towards A.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. G2 throwing deep stairs smoke to signal they're going to take A control. They won't. They actually just have the AWP sitting back, and m0NESY will connect his. Plucks Nexa from the, or Nerds from the ranks, rather. Nexa still supporting on the A side. And Heroic, whatever they wanted to do, they've got to bail. Tess says once again, deep middle control for Heroic. G2 got to use their smokes wisely. Only 2 remain. Cycling them out in the dark room. Kicks his molly, will force that. He runs through with it. A lot of pressure put on Hunter, but the smoke will be respected after all. Actually, did they just burn 2 smokes there? One went in A main, rather. So no blocking utility left now for G2 at 50 seconds. Heroic have done their due diligence, and they're going to go back into the A site. The AWP is no longer here.
The paranoia has really crept in for G2, and even though Nico is going to have a real hot on their heels flank here, it all kind of hinges on Nexa being able to do something. He gets out with a 1-for-1, and m0NESY now arrives through middle. They learn about Nico in the backlines for Kixan. This one is too far gone. 1v4 required. He's going to try creep up onto m0NESY, but the trade is immediate out of Hunter in middle. So G2 do a great job of kind of wrangling Heroic in there. It looked like they were going to peel too much away from that A site over towards B, and that's where Nico really helps out, just getting activated very quickly on that drop through the window in mid. And some nice trade work from Hunter around camera.
We can see the timeout used from Saw, right? Another reset round. If they win this one, Heroic, they won the half already and have a chance for a couple of more. plenty of money in the bank. Not even sure why. Okay, Nerds just had 1700, so he actually doesn't have money for more nades, despite getting a drop. But he has such great teammates that they dropped him some more nades.
I mean, it would be heroic classic to be leaving nades for later. Of course, the old roster, very familiar with doing that on CT sides. T-spawn on this map is so far away, man.
All right, instant left side smoke goes over towards B. Now it's looking like he was going to try and peek that early, but you had a flurry of flashbangs come out to deny the aggression down through long.
I'm learning so much util just by watching this map, and I'm going to forget it all the second I'm in the server. Very cool B-pop flash thrown by G2 there. Hunter again in a pivotal position. The bomb is coming his way and pressure is being put on B.
Yeah, now we saw this hold of Hunter and Hooksy be able to kind of withstand it the first time around. They're going to get split on again. Still a full belt of util for Nikados and essentially for Shush, so some util can come out here. Tessa's just peeking over that smoke, deals with Hunter. Now they see a second man in the fray. They slow down for a moment here. They even have Shush kind of exploring the back lines, just checking out this A main push, making sure G2 aren't making an info play.
There's plenty of time. Heroic is just waiting out this utility before they go into an execute. m0NESY left on A. Perhaps a quick A fake before going B, but m0NESY can have some early info here, maybe even a kill.
Oh, good flash. He's forced back and the hunt comes in. Shush is going to chase this, but he doesn't need to. 25 seconds. Hunter makes a move, or Nico rather, dead down in dark. And Hooksy at the back of the side, the soul hold right now. Ugly spray. Nexus saves the day. It's a plant for Heroic just in time. That little fake out into A main pulled the wool over G2's eyes and made them walk into the trap set by Heroic. It's a good grenade, but nothing will come of it. Heroic win the half at worst case.
Man, and when Heroic go and fake the A side like that, they use the last of their util in doing so, right? They kind of had a good bit of faith that that was going to throw G2 off a bit. Their patience over towards B would work wonders, and they had full faith in getting the openers.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's so quick.
That wasn't even a no-scope. That was a quick scope.
And he's looking the wrong way. For crying out loud.
And I think this round is a good example of some of the problems the CTs have on Anubis, right? Like if you don't go for some aggression in the mid round or in the early round, it's very hard to hold the sides, you know? It's so claustrophobic. And I think now, you know, G2 might be a little bit sick of it, so perhaps trying a quick B peek, right? That's what they faked the last round with the 3 flashes, but if I'm Heroic, that's sort of to be expected at this point. So let's see what the decision is.
Oh, well, it seems like Heroic have already got their mind made up. It's another super heavy A-lean, and they're going quickly here. Nexa, I hope you've got something up your sleeve. You're going to need it. They are flooding in through main, and Nexa sends them packing. Multi-kill to open, traded after the fact. But there's more players here now. Nico supplements this hold over towards the A site. m0NESY dead.
Brutal.
Lovely openers out. And Tess says he's cracked that A site wide open. Goes for even more, and will get knocked out of the round. But they know where Hunter is now. They've got all the info. Heroic can move quickly here. And even though Hunter is just as fast in his decision to rotate over, he's not going to beat that first man in. Nikados already in the site, but the kill is given away. Hunter is in with a chance. Smoke down for now. He's going to start creeping through it, and Nerds peeks out in the open, or plants rather. That's nice and easy for Hunter. The red carpet rolled out in that 1v2. Yeah, so anyone want to justify the plant spot?
I thought he was going to fake it. Or at least stick it behind cover, but damn, that is a disaster. In the open, blocked by the pillar, or the box, whatever it was, the rock, the stone, couldn't even see.
Yeah, that was strange from Heroic, especially considering it's Hunter. I think that's the big one, right? Like, he is more of an aggressive player, but yeah, maybe a little bit losing track of the round for Heroic, and that's honestly a gift for G2. If they end up losing that round, I mean, Heroic already at 8, probably 9 at the very least at that point, but still a tough buy for G2.
That's a 1v3 for Hunter after, you know, Tesses turns that round on its head, gets a double entry, and they don't commit into A anyway because they killed Hooksy on the big flank.
There's no need for Nicolas to go so deep, right? I mean, he can just cover Temple for Nerds while he plants the bomb, and then you play the 2v1.
Just that feeling that you have good timing and it costs you everything.
So a mistake, we'll see how costly as Heroic keeps pushing the pace.
Oh, I like the pace change. Aggressive into Dark immediately, and I don't think G2 are ready for this. They push themselves, but m0NESY provides the much-needed cover. Tesses is through this smoke here. This is getting scary as Nerds fires back, but luckily enough, with m0NESY finding 2 kills down below, G2 can chill.
We talked about this B aggression, when is it going to happen, and I think a great call to do it now after the lost clutch. Heroic probably still thinking about it a little bit. So G2 in a 4v2. This is where you don't want to give any, you know, free kills. If you die, you may want to make sure that it's traded, like in this case. So either just shoulder peeking, right, playing for information. Nicolas now in a 1v3. There's no one on A.
Yeah, Nex is given a lot of room here. I mean, mid's been open, so it's understandable to be kind of worried about CT, but it will allow this bomb plant to come through for Nicolas. He's likely not to expect them to have just up and left the A site. Taps on it. He is determined that someone is here. He's like, there's no way they're giving it to me, but they are. Nicolas sits up top of the board for Heroic. Well, letting him get this bomb down, BG2's undoing. Not today, as Nexus swings on out just a little later from the heavens. They're fine to concede the plant. G2 just wanted the round.
Great flash from m0NESY as well, finds 3 kills, and they're hyper important because he's stopping that dark split while Heroic are taking P long. And then he goes in with a flash to completely ruin Nicolas' chance to dance in the clutch. G2 looking to recover here in the last round of the half, 7-5. Not too bad on CT Anubis. You're still holding some expectation of G2 with this being their map pick, but given how this game started, to get out with 5 by the end of the half would be nice. And we have Heroic on arguably, you know, very dangerous buy if you play your cards right. 3 MAC-10s, and we've seen some aggressive executes from this team.
Oh, they're going to walk that. Nico, you thought that would be something for him there. They even lined up in the smoke. Nexa again will get tested here. They're coming in through main as well on a timing, but Nexa controls the spray for 2. Meanwhile in mid, Nerds find success. This one left even, but right now G2 are trapped behind this smoke in Temple. They go right through it. Another smoke in their way. This has sucked a lot of the pace out of the round for G2. They need the smoke, gives them an open veil to know that no one was close, but Nerds is still floating around here at the stairs. Been a nuisance that these players trying to rotate in on the retake, but a good flash. m0NESY nails that shot. It's all eyes on Shush, and m0NESY trading out to the AK, puts up another multi-kill to find 5 rounds for G2. A rifle or an AWP, m0NESY can do it all.
To my face, tell me now why you want to wait. you wanna say? I've been looking for you, looking for you, looking for you. Take me down, leave me lost and found. Take me down, without a sound, and I will rise, rise, and I will fly, fly, rise,
A lead for Heroic settled into as they're up 7-5. It's with commanding performances from Nikodos and Tesses. We have Monacy on the other side of things, the one from G2 to try and match them in that regard. A stellar 3K in the last round and a multi-kill in the one before that. I think another 3K actually on the back of the Famus. So he's certainly still in a similar groove to overpass his Monacy. And this time, I think, you know, the supporting casters looked a little more there around him. So as G2 embark on this T side, let's see what they've got up their sleeve. It's a very heavy lean over here towards A early on, with Nico left back outside of B, waiting to see if he can catch any aggression from Heroic.
Julie's for Nexa did not work out in A main. How was Shush fare? Kicks and baits for him. They're about to explode. The nades go over. It's all util in middle though. So no one will shuffle. In fact, Heroic even move further forward inside of A. Shush knows it's coming. He hits the jumps. They both jump. Bit of a disaster. You only want your first player doing that. And look how it hurts G2. They get folded up like clothes in luggage.
Hooksy not ready to pack his bags yet. Still wants to give this 1v4 a go. One kill for the man. But he is getting flanked and two players lie ahead of him. Hooksy is suddenly alive. One bullet and it just falls short. But hell, he's taken it this far from the 1v4. He's going to start moving out of there. Running around with the bomb on his back. He is ahead of Nikodos in the rotate.
Oh my goodness.
Two ex-teammates head to head.
Hooksy with the plant. Nikodos slow on the approach, topping the charts for Heroic. And Hooksy, it's an awkward first fight. He can't complete it. A mini death slam, but a damn good try from Hooksy in the 1v4.
And as that glass goes down in the Hall of Heroes, you know they make eye contact there. Stared down, a near sick clutch. If that one bullet in the mag landed, would have been beautiful. Nice try from the Hooks.
I mean, still an incredible round from him just to get the kills, plant the bomb, right? That enables G2 to buy. And you said it, Hugo, on Anubis, you don't need necessarily the AKs and full utility. You can mix something up with the Mag 10s. But this is a crucial round for G2 to gain some momentum.
Like you said, round 2 force, you need a plan, you need a play. You can't just willy-nilly run around. However, G2 will run them down in A. It's only Shush here. He's got nades over the top. It will do a bit of damage, but the Galil entries, and we know Monacy can do it with whatever he's got.
Hunter in behind him, Shush. dead immediately, and the A side's
All right,
crumbled.
pack it up, just save, let's get out of here, it's over.
That one kill is all that's needed for G2.
That's a surprise. A-rushes are so common on this map and so telegraphed as well. You can hear the footsteps coming. Sure, they went rugs, but even so, you get a heads up. And Heroic just don't have anyone near the site. It's just Shush throwing a nade and then getting caught in no man's land. Unprepared for a round like that are Heroic.
A bit surprised they didn't even try to, not necessarily push through the smokes, but maybe some spam, maybe you get a lucky kill or two, maybe you can poke around a little bit, but, you know, on the other side of things, you've just lost one player, you have 3 M4s, you can rebuy all the nades. Shush can get a pistol. We saw him do work with the 5-7 on overpass. So the A-rush call works wonders this time around.
And for Hooksy, he kind of gets his vindication there, right? It's the bomb plant that enabled that buy, as you pointed out in the first place.
With his brain, if not his aim.
Yeah.
Bit of both.
And also, I'd say a lot with the aim too, actually, in that little 1v4 attempt. Damn. But all right then, G2. This is a golden opportunity to suddenly really feel like you're back into the swing of things here. Are they just going to run it back again? That's what it's looking like.
I love this.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Shush.
He's ready this time.
He's learned from his mistakes last time. He's here ready to fight, but not able to overwhelm them. Kixan tries to support, and try really is the operative word there. Spammed out by Hunter as he continues this reign of terror in towards the A site. G2, they find success twice in a row on the back of these fast A plays.
Or even a little more prepared this time, but it's still not enough.
So now, how crazy is Hooksy? Is he going to call it for a third time? That's all I want to know, right?
Surely not.
Because for Heroic, it's, well, they did it twice. Surely not for a third time. They'll save these 3 guns. They won't rebuy on the 2 players at this point in time, but 2 M4s, they can do some work, right? Where do you send them? Do you send them A? Do you think he's that crazy? Or do you just repeat the same thing? You leave it there and maybe play for mid, try to go for some other plays to find an entry. That's always the mind games. It's so, to me, it's always so intriguing, right?
Well, because I think up until now as well, Heroic have had good reads, and they felt like they've had like a good idea as to what G2 are doing.
But for my money, I would slow it down now. Like, they have 2 guys with no armor, 2 M4s, 1 MP9. You don't need to gamble on being right again if you're Hooksy to win this round. You can just play it slow, see what it is that Heroic is going to do with those 2 guns, right? And then use, let's say, in the next round, sort of the same nade just to bait out the utility from the CTs, make them nervous. That's going to make it easier for you to call in the mid round.
WWJD, what would Yanko do? A segment coming soon. We'll have to see if the Hooks is really loose today.
And it is, I feel like that's why Overpass, Anubis works much better for the way Hooksy calls. He's a momentum caller, and he understands when to change the pace and how to change it. On Overpass, you can't do that outside of a monster rush or a B pop, right? And that's sort of also easy to spot. On Anubis, it suits his style a little bit better.
I see a lot of bodies going towards A, but yeah, they're not going to commit to it again.
And this time, look at what Heroic have done. Double A main immediately. And the pistol sends it. They're finding out what's up here. Nerd supports with rifle. Pistol goes even further forward. And behind that smoke on the stairs, Hooksy couldn't see him from the window. He's going to burn in the molly. Tessa's avoiding disaster right now.
Oh, Shush is like super deep. He's gone all the way through, and he's now flanking them with the USP.
Not bad. This might be a free
I have no idea.
kill.
Oh, next comes back around and puts a stop to Shush in the backline, but this is still a good start for Heroic in spite of that, right? They've dealt with the mid push cleanly. G2 feeling like they could be in hot water here. They're going to recommit to the mid creep. Hunter and Nexa walking in together. That bomb just a little bit later on the back of Monacy. Tessa's up close in middle. It's some damage, but it's not the killing blow. And so G2 at least get the mid control they were looking for. They've cut off the info here as well. And it's not like Tessa's really got to see everyone there. It's not like he saw the whole picture. Only gets to spot that one man fighting him in the door.
The 2 M4s are still alive with armor. So there's a chance for Heroic here We'll see if G2 just tries to creep up B. Looks like it that they won't use any nades so they don't give away their intentions.
The crossfire is really nasty, and Nikodos has been the hero of Heroic in this series. Kixen just to draw them in, and he's eviscerated. Nikodos, some team damage, they line up. He finds 2 kills, and now it's m0NESY versus Nerds. Quick drop down below. m0NESY needs a reposition inside of the smoke. He looks away. And Nerds gets ever closer to the round. Heroic find it with only 2 M4s. Disastrous round for G2. They slow it down, and it's their undoing.
I mean, the fight in mid, we didn't catch it, but that's what really went completely wrong for them.
Oh, that lineup. And they're shooting each other, everything.
A very important round for Heroic to have picked up there, right? Especially after kind of HooXi's gambit earlier on, right? Of the back-to-back A rushes. It felt like maybe he was going to get in that point where he's in their heads a little bit. They go for a slower, more traditional round, you could say, and they end up getting punished for it. Nikodos and Nerds, the 2 to really stand and deliver. 4 kills between the 2 of them. And so now they're going to come back, try to take some of this A space. m0NESY using the AWP like it's a MAC-10, just runs up through main. Nico and HooXi in the meantime find their successes in mid, and wouldn't you know it, HooXi's called another blinder with the return to the A play.
That's my in-game leader.
Whether it's HooXi or it's just m0NESY,
Yeah,
you know, calling the play and then HooXi calling around and for him and Nico to be aggressive on mid. That's a call where they're in a position, if m0NESY finds a kill, they can just speed up and sort of try to end the round immediately, and if not, they can still reset and play it slow, and it's always tough. I mean, for Heroic in this situation, they've lost 3 rounds in the first 10 seconds of the round.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you have all like these kind of protocols for like going out and gathering info and whatnot, but when it's so fast, there's none of that, right? It really does just hinge on winning that opening fight or slowing down the push or taking a gamble so that everyone's in the right place.
How did he live?
That's wild. Nikodos getting out with the AWP is something at least
So the player,
Heroic.
the player in Spawn did kill the other CT and Beach, so, you know, it came at a cost. You saved the best gun, but no one else lived, so...
I mean, that's a tough
1 rifle. No.
situation for Heroic because their loss bonus is at 1400, right? So Nikodos saves it. That's why the timeout comes in. They need to make the decision. Are they forcing here or do they want to eco? And obviously probably the force, but how do they want to approach it? So I think an important timeout, even though it's their final one, at least when it comes to regulation. But this is the beauty of, I mean, for HooXi winning rounds in this way, he hasn't really given anything up, in a sense, right? I mean, the rounds were all won fairly quickly, so I think there's still a lot in the playbook that they can call. And obviously, you know, what do you say if you're Heroic? Guys, you have to use utility earlier. You have to make sure, you know, you stop these aggressive plays and you get to the mid-round.
That's been a mission even in itself. m0NESY creeping around this long smoke. They'll nade it open, but timing just eludes him on that player that was tucked in at pillar. Tessez now slinks back into the position once that pillar molly fades. Nerds up close down in con is able to deal with HooXi. It's going to fall to m0NESY next. Missed shot from that AWP, and now that Heroic know it's holding this line, they don't have to fight him.
Trying to get him out. Good Molotov. And with the left side smoke fading soon, he's got to be careful.
Because he's going to go for the clear here with
Shush,
and they find Nexa.
Disastrous.
This is an issue because you just lost all your kind of map control over towards A, right? So essentially you've been spotted at B. Everywhere you go now, you're going to be clearing like it's the first time. And so they'll recommit to middle, sending in one man there, Nico. Moving up through the mid lanes while the rest of G2 meander their way down towards A main. Tessez deep on this angle. Well, m0NESY check for this. I think he's seen him, but just a second too late to save Hunter's life. Tesses goes 1 for 1 and gets the info that 2 players were crossing A. Nico trying to act on the fly here, starts to flank through Temple, but time is of the essence for G2. Nico can't really be the one to play first here. And with the double setup in at the back of the site, you're going to be real hard-pressed to win this one. Nico storming his way through CT, taps out the first man. He's seen the barrel, and he's going to follow up with another. Nico, fast as lightning on that flank through the spawn. And he's cracked this one open for G2, giving them a chance where there was nothing before. This one looked done. Instead, Heroic throwing in to a 2v2 retake. Bomb planted for CT, and they didn't have this real estate earlier on. That's how Nico moved in. They are cautious. They are scared. Every corner could harbor a G2 player. They've only just cleared CT now, and m0NESY's retaken the Temple. It's a done deal. Nico does. Even though he lands that shot, the bomb planted for m0NESY. He can't win this, and he knows it. Runs for the hills as m0NESY and Nico cook up a 2v4 for G2.
I mean, a 2v4 and a 1v3 from Hunter in the first half. I'm not really sure the positioning from Heroic to be too plat. I mean, they knew m0NESY was water outside A and they spot Nico in mid. I mean, you can go 2 con, right? Try to isolate the fight with one of the 2. Instead, they get pinched.
Yeah, it's the reroute beach with 10 seconds on the clock, right? If he goes Temple, both players can fight him, but kicks in at the back of the site. He was spotted. He can't even see Nico in that position, and it's the rifle that gets found out. m0NESY hunts down the second player, and just the way they play off of each other, even with that bomb tap and no one playing for it. m0NESY runs in, but it's Nico who gets the kill while Heroic are distracted. What great synergy from these 2. And even better shooting from Nico, who's had a quiet map, but shows up when it matters, breaking the money of Heroic at 9 apiece, and with no timeouts left as well, Heroic are in hot water.
They got the AWP on Nikodos. They're trying to boost him up for an early peek through main, but that just feeds him to the wolves. m0NESY's actually the one to get that over the smoke, and Nico finds success in middle. Kixan gets whack-a-moled out of the round. This one's over. The A-site play works wonders for G2. Just that AWP to worry about, and it was the first thing to fall in the round. They now retake the lead, and you can see Taz is very happy about that. He's liking what he's getting out of the gang right now, and with good reason.
5 out of the 7 rounds in the half already going G2's favor. That's after losing Pistol, winning a 4 spy. And of course, the 1 round they lost was Nikodos getting a crazy 2K spray down in dark, and Nerds clutching m0NESY on a timing. 10-9. G2 looking to make this a quick day in the group stages.
Oh my god, man. m0NESY is absolutely mad. Mental, and he wins that! Nerds dead! m0NESY, so quick, follows up on the Glock. It's written in the stars that m0NESY is meant to be doing this.
He just doesn't care, does he? He does what he wants, when he wants it, and how. Doesn't matter if you're holding, if you're mollying him, he will go through it, and he will Glock you. m0NESY in this form, I mean, he's already made runs to the Katowice finals. He's already picked up that trophy. He wants to do it again.
He glocked the second.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's literally like on his Matrix story arc. They're in the lobby, he's just dropping guns, pulling out a new one, taking heads off.
So 4 gun rounds, 2 of them you win by kind of rushing A. Okay, the anti-force buy. And then 2 of them you win by just m0NESY being unleashed and finding an entry kill, or 2 entries in this case. Yeah. That's 4 rounds that are over in the first 15 seconds, where it's, you know, completely done. Nothing for Heroic.
And that's a full buy.
To do.
That's a full buy. It's not even a full buy like they lose the A round and then they just save. No, it's a full buy where almost everyone falls.
With how like commanding he's being right now, it's not even HooXi saying m0NESY go kill. It's m0NESY telling HooXi, I am gonna go kill. It's crazy. Yeah. This is mad. Oh, he's doing it again. The man. He's mollied main. He's gonna try peek behind it this time. It has to be a little bit slower. The molly's there. He's meant to peek around it. They're gonna blow this smoke open. Try give him a line. nothing presents itself. Everyone is terrified. If you're inside of the site and you're even still for a second, you are so scared about this orb just bearing down upon you. Hooksy around the smoke down in dark. He's been betrayed by this before, and this round's no different. Hunter dead. m0NESY with the reply as they push this smoke through B main. The alarm bells go off for a moment, but Kixan could alleviate that right now with this mid push.
No way.
m0NESY, he did turn around to check it, but a second too late to that fact. And so Heroic with a nice re-establisher here in that round. They come through with some aggression. Kixan takes that upon himself to shut m0NESY out of the round.
And that was an eco. I mean, the players with the rifles didn't really invest into nades either, so helps their economy a lot.
That's why they play as aggressive as they do, right? They're running down mid and sending quick flanks. That's the round winner. If m0NESY can get the bomb into B with his teammate lurking out as well, could be a G2 round. Instead, you have to give Heroic the due diligence, the respect here at this point.
Well, who's the defending?
No, you're kidding.
m0NESY, yeah, that one step too far.
He had an orb, a different story, but now it's unraveling in front of our very eyes. G2 jumping the gun, a speedy pace, maybe too fast.
Well, Nico at least gets his revenge on that mid-smoke walk, but it wasn't before they lost Nexa. He does still have ownership of middle, which kind of cuts the defense in half at 2-2.
Heroic does have the man advantage, but they're split, so in reality it's a 3v2 for G2, depending on where they choose to go.
Nico's telling them to wait for him.
And this time around, you can see Heroic reacting towards Dark and are actually going to go for an info play.
Oh, and both peak on either side. Nerds makes it out alive, but barely. And remember, Nico the entire time has been creeping in through middle. They didn't hear him tick on the Molotov, but Nico hears that. He knows exactly where Nerds is, and he will contain the problem. Tell his teammate just to plant. I've got you, buddy. Nowhere to go. Nico hunts mid-rotations. They're all coming from behind. Hooksy needs a kill here. Nico can't win the entire round on his own.
Yeah, Nico's going to potentially get avoided, but Hooksy wins that one, and that gives them so much more freedom here. With Nico having confirmed that no one was rotating Temple or CT, it's become clear to G2 that they've got Heroic trapped in a box down in dark. Nico, it's awkward at first, but he recovers nicely. Time is of the essence, but the bomb is not planted for Nico. Kit on Nikodos as he swings out with the 5-7. He's going to find Nico, and he's got time to hop on that bomb. The clutch denied. As Nikodos versus Nico comes up in favor of the Danish Orb sensation.
My oh my. 11 apiece. At least G2 get plant. That's relieving for the money, but man, a nice try for Nico and Hooksy, who play off of each other's contact, but Nikodos, balls of steel.
It was about time that one of these goes Heroic's way, right?
Yeah.
With the amount of clutches that they lost, but thanks to winning that previous round with, you know, still money in the bank, they can rebuy with all of their utility too. G2, of course, from all the consecutive rounds they won, plenty of money left for them.
m0NESY is an alright spawn again, but in these last few pacey attempts, he hasn't been able to find that same success. And I saw Hooksy doing a lot of talking there in that timeout, so I felt like this one could get a little more, I don't want to say convoluted, but I don't think it's going to be as much based around pace. Let's see. What does m0NESY want to do with this forward spawn? Yeah, far more passive from the start of the round here. He just posts on middle. And so G2 going to delve a little deeper into that playbook.
Mid's been good to them. They've got a lot of real estate, a lot of control here up towards doors. They just haven't always used it. That goes for both teams. CTs are more aggressive though. Flashes through, kicks are so blind. He cannot do a thing there. Nico with another important opener at a crucial part of this match. He was doing it near the dying stages of Overpass. And G2 want to end this with a bang. Shush will put out the flame. Hooksy out of middle. They're going to pull towards Dark. Nerds doesn't even see his opponent. Nico needs his trade. Nexa will find it for him. 3-on-2. G2 have the site, and Heroic have a decision to make.
Yeah, their money is not in a good place.
I mean, this probably has to be a save at this point, unless Nico finds a kill on Nexa.
Oh no, don't give him it.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's fine. And so yeah, that save call comes in for Heroic. That's purely on the back of where the money's at, right? If they were a little more well off, if there's a world where saving these two guns isn't the make or break of this entire game, you might see them give that a look in, but never destined to go for it when they're not fed a kill in the 2-on-3. Big round for Nexa. Haven't really had to talk about him all too much. He had a couple of nice moments on that CT side after kind of getting bullied over on the A site. Here, he gets that gnarly double kill out through Dark and facilitates the entire B play coming through for G2.
Just hurts for Kixon, who I don't know if he self-flashed himself or if Nico flashed him. It was one of them. They might have been bouncing flashes on the left wall as they scaled mid, but he pops out that door full blind, and it's just an easy entry for G2. Unravels the round, and now the series comes down to this. Is it a 2-0, or can Heroic drag us into overtime and look for Nuke as the decider?
Well, they keep the same pace to the way the last round started. m0NESY just holding a line this time. Waiting to see if he's given any aggression out through main. This MP9's worked itself up into a close corner as Kixan lies in wait with this kind of double-layered peek out of him and Shush.
Same again. Oh, Nico doesn't need to respect it. Texas doesn't even consider that Nico will go through. Kixon's close, and it's perfect with the MP9. He chews through a couple, and that bomb is firmly in Heroic's hold.
Nico's trying to get activated out through middle, but you're going to need a miracle from Nico. Can he do it? Kixan just dancing around, proving to be a nuisance. Nikodos with the backstab in the meantime, and Hunter's caught looking the wrong way. Next, he's getting pincered on. He needs to pick a fight forward or backwards, and even though he wins the one into main, it's all left onto Nico. 1v2. They know that he was cut loose from mid, moved into this A site. It's all about trying to find him, and Nikodos will do exactly that. A big round from Kixan and Nikodos as they offer up 2 apiece. That first double kill coming off of the MP9 and the crunch that occurs over in main. Heroic bring us through into OT. Much akin to Overpass, only it's this time them playing catch-up.
Going through the smoke as well, because Nico gets his mid-entry, so he's putting pressure, but they still, I feel like they still go a little bit early. He has so much room and time to get towards camera. He can't even assist. He's only there trading late. And, well, gray screen into an MP9 goes about as well as you can hope. G2, another overtime. m0NESY, tamed but not muzzled, holds on to the A push again. Still looking to bite and bark his way back into this game. Not wanting 3 maps. No, it's in the smoke to avoid giving up the position. Good flash play. m0NESY's out of there. Next is going to have to attempt this trade, and he will find it. Meanwhile, Nerd's dead in dark inside of that smoke. So G2, a man up. Need to take a breath and regroup.
Huxley versus Nerds has been this kind of like background head-to-head that's been going on. It was happening on Overpass and some of those long fights. Now we've got the duel of Dark, and Huxley started winning that out across the last few rounds. This has put a lot of pressure on Heroic, right? Being a man down, and it's where they've lost these players. They have to spread themselves pretty thinly here. I'll take a bit of an educated guess by leaving 2 over towards B. Losing Nerds down in Dark has put the fear in them. But that leaves mid wide open, and G2 have found this gap. Oftentimes when they've secured this temple control, it's led to great spots, and no one from Heroic is even considering this. They just left middle. That kill comes for free. Tessez tucked in at the back of the site. Delivers the double, can't quite make it to the third. Hunter will snuff him out, and so now it is just Kixan coming in late from all the way around. A day at the beach. This clutch will not be. Nexa and Hunter set up to play around this bomb. This is going to be real tricky for Kixan. He doesn't have any util to try and make his life any easier. They can just peek on the tap. They hear the footsteps now. They know he's in the site. They've got him right where they want him. First kill secured. Nothing from Hunter yet. The stick comes through, and Hunter will deny. Doesn't leap out for the trade, plays the long con, plays around that bomb. And it does well by G2.
It's been a while since we said his name, right? But steps up in the first round of overtime. And yeah, difficult spot for Heroic in that 3v4. Again, you feel like you need to be a little bit more proactive. There was just such a huge gap in mid. Perhaps they thought they had a little bit more time to just hold. And G2 wins the first round of overtime.
Monesi's taking some liberties here. It's by no means the W holding or quick scoping entries that we've seen out of him in rounds prior. He's just holding that line, but a bit more aggressively over towards middle. Smokes come out of them. G2 kind of settle into this split across the map. Once again, you'll bet that NiKo wants to work this mid control. He's been doing it all T-side long. Ooh, Heroic this time, though, will stem that bleeding. They deal with NiKo early. And that's a real tool from the toolkit of G2 removed. It only gets worse with the death of Hunter over here at B. Think about some of the moments that NiKo's opened up in this game with his lurks in through middle. Now that you don't have that, HooXi's job gets that much harder.
Nuts, he didn't get flashed, he just walked the entire way through B main, so he is on a big flank, he is closing the net. Kixon, oh, he didn't need to commit to that, but he gets away with a frag. Dropping in is a bridge too far, and Monesi cuts him down, but he is left alone in the impossible. A 1v3 now. Monesi, I'm not banking on it. Not with 17 health, but this kid has shown us everything, anything is possible. He's got timing, he's got a window to plant this bomb. Question is, what happens after? He goes back? Oh, Monesi, not another ace clutch on Anubis.
He's super low on health, and he never knew about Nerds having pushed all the way through long, but you are scratching your head a bit when you haven't seen him yet. He's usually down in dark. Still, timing gets the better of Monesi on his way to that 1v5. Shush puts a stop to it, and so Heroic tie this up in OT.
And the switch up there from Heroic was the double op, right? Shush as well on A, and they stick with it. So let's see what G2's response is going to be. Usually it's the utility-heavy rounds that work great against that. You don't want to be spread out, searching with the AKs. That gives the ops an advantage. Been a while since we saw that A rush, boys.
Hey, look, they're going to run it back again. It's tried and tested for G2 at this point.
I do love it. Although Shush has an orb, is that going to be to his benefit? The smoke comes down, they jump through, and this time he can evade capture as he takes two. Shush finally headshot, but they are in the site.
Yeah, still not for long. Kixan moving in to rein them in. It's just HooXi left standing here. First kill goes his way, and that's when Nerds pops up to trade. Heroic were ready for that one as they very quickly flood players in to assist Shush on that hold.
A flash would have gone a long way into helping that rush. It felt strange to just be running at him like that. I feel like in previous ones, there was an extra flash there, but yeah, great two kills by Shush. The rotate is there really fast from Kixan, and they shut it down.
Heroic.
This game is intense, man. I mean, first map overtime, second map overtime. Heroic playing some really good CS.
I mean, off of name value alone, it was the grand final of last Katowice. Of course, only with two of the Heroic players. But still, Heroic have a lot to prove, and G2 have haters to silence, doubters to displease. And while Monesi was trying his best to do so, we need someone else to carry the logs.
Sorry, that really came out of nowhere. Here we are, Nikados. All primed and ready to go, posted on dark early. A bit of spam go down range there. A three-man start over towards B. Hello, Nerds has worked his way out through main. Heroic trying to use G2's own trick against them. They pop out A, only that's not where this play was looking to end up. And look at the rotate it's drawn. G2 have completely up and left the B site. Heroic use G2's own look against them.
I love that, because even if it doesn't go well, you're still on your default. You're not committed by any means if you're Heroic, but if Nerds gets a kill, you just know you can walk into the bomb site. And they, so much utility. Cycle Molotovs towards Temple. I don't know how G2 are supposed to win this.
Smoke the bomb.
Smoke the bomb, yeah.
Home Ray Here we are. Nico a long ways out, takes a little while to rotate on in. So G2, this retake is late. Smoke on the bomb might be their best option, but they don't have them left anymore. Molly starts to rain in, and with that Molotov on the bomb, this should be a done deal. m0NESY doing all he can, but they get to that bomb. And it's pigeon shooting for Heroic. They'll clean that one up. The bundle of G2 knocked down as Heroic soldier on to map point. Yanko, you said that this one's been intense. First map, overtime. Second map, now overtime as well. The third map was the big question mark, and Heroic are just 5 kills away from taking us there.
2 chances to do it, and you got to say, you got to give some props to Kixon in this series and inside of this team, what he's able to accomplish with powerful pieces. He's right now doing a damn good job calling out G2 in these 2 rounds.
I mean, that's a pretty cheap round to give away by G2. Of course, there's chaos, Nerds finds the entry kill, there's still utility flowing over, but it's kind of a fundamental rule that the anchor from the opposite side is not supposed to leave until you see the bomb, or they're planting the bomb exactly for this reason. It's not like they saw too many bodies on the side of G2, so probably just the intensity of the game, sort of annoying that Heroic has a couple of rounds to work with, making them over-rotate, and once Heroic gets into B, it's a very, very difficult retake for G2.
Left side smoke in. Takes contact first, and Hunter late to getting into dark. Pays the ultimate price. This one might be done, and it's all on the back of this guy right here. 3 kills from Nerds. m0NESY 1v5, a phrase we've said a lot throughout this series, and even though he's always given it a go, he's made it exciting. He's never won them. And so here we are, watching m0NESY in the dying light of Anubis. Heroic have done it. They've longed this one out. A 3-map series we have on our hands here as Heroic stand tall in that overtime. And it's signposted with this beautiful performance from Nert as we break into OT.